Okay, I think we are back live. So I'm actually trying to go through my other channel. I was trying to use the streaming my Switcher Studio, and for some reason they're just having some trouble. They had a new update, and I'm wondering if that could be the problem. So I'm just going to go through Zoom, and we'll try that, and hopefully everything will work fine. So this is kind of broken up in two parts. I had a part I just did a minute ago on the previous session, and now you're watching me here on this second session. So I'm not going to kind of bore you through all the other stuff. I'll try to maybe pull those videos down and bring them together or something in that respect. But anyway, I want to kind of get back to what we were doing here. So again, I'm on Zoom, which is a little bit of a different platform, but I'm going to share my screen and go to that real quickly here. So let me share that, and I'm going to probably take my video off. So, all right. So we're going live again, and I think it's going to work this time with a Zoom. So remember what we were kind of looking at. Well, last week I put this flip book up, which was a market report for Coral Gables, Florida. And what I did was I registered a free domain, or $11.99 domain at GoDaddy, and I just happened to register the website Coral Gables Real Estate Market Report.com. Now, it's not forwarding to the specific page on my, it is forwarding there, but because I just went to I went to the previous forward page, everything hasn't actually gotten correct or fixed yet. So this is where I'm pointing people, and they're actually coming right to this website. They're able now to be able to look at this market report. So we were using RPR, and with RPR, we were able to draw an area around a subdivision. That's kind of what we did in RPR. And what I said that we would do this week is I would really take this and we'd kind of put it on steroids. So I want to show you how you can draw the same area around a map search in your MLS and pull some specific creative data from this. Now I'm logged into my St. Louis matrix, but for Miami folks, yours looks the same as mine. And if we come down here to my saved searches, you're going to notice that I have saved some searches, and one in specific is an area that I farm, and it's called Hunter's Ridge. Well, when I click on Hunter's Ridge, I can go into the criteria, and I could say, I only want to look at the closed listings for the last 180 days. Or I could just take that off and say, let's take a look at the last 365 days right there. I can include the expireds if I want to, and I only want residential. Anything else I want to do, I can add that, and I'm going to click Save. Now you would save this again, and here, notice right up here, I want to click on Results. Now, just remember what we're doing here is we actually have all the data that's populating here would just be data for Hunter's Ridge, okay? The subdivision that I drew my map around. Now, here's what a lot of people don't know about the matrix, and most MLSs have this. I'm going to click Stats, and I'm going to go to Charts. We'll look at both tabular and charts, but let's just take a look at the current days on market, and let's generate this, okay? Now, I don't get a lot of meaningful information right here, but if I customize this, I can look at the past 5 years, current days on market, and the secondary would be the current days on market average. Okay. Now let's go to style options and let's just make this a 3D chart and display the values right there. Now let's generate this report and look at what's happening here. We're actually able to get some very meaningful data. Now, if I want to just go back the past 3 years, I can generate the report. Or if I just want to go the last 2 years, I'll generate this report and we'll take a look. Now, I can also, I can change any of this. If I want to go to earth tones, you can change your colors as you see fit. If I want to do this as an area, I'll generate and you can kind of see, and I'm like, I don't think I like that. Maybe I like the column better. Now I'm able to see the current days on market. That's the average. And maybe we don't want the column, maybe we want the line. And so I'll generate. That's not going to work real good there, is it? Actually, that might look good, and we'll make this a line. And now generate, and we'll take the 3D chart effect off. And you can see here we're getting a little bit better data that we want. And generate. So you can see that the average days on market is right up here between 60 and 70. The median days on market's just under 50, probably right around 49 days. So you can play around with any of these, if you want to do area columns, take a look at what looks, that doesn't look very good to me, or, maybe smooth area. I don't think I want that. I kind of think I either like the line or the column the best. And again, play around with your colors and see what you like the best. I like the column because with the column, I can actually display the numbers. So you can see here, again, the dark brown's average days on market, and the bronze is it's the median days on market. And remember, median just means half of the numbers are above that, half are below that. And this gives us 2018, 2019, 2020. And if we want to go back 4 years just to show them what's happening, we could do that as well. Just to say that, back in 2016, the market took a little longer to sell homes. 17, 18, things were, 18, really hopping in that subdivision. Now we can kind of see that in 2020, numbers are starting to creep back up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to click on print, the little print icon right over here, and I'm going to go down here and click print. And here, what I want to do is save it as a PDF. So I'm going to click save, and on my desktop, I'm going to click a new folder, and I'm going to call it Hunter's Ridge. We'll create this, and here I'm going to put CDOM, which is current days on market. And I'm going to save that in the Hunter's Ridge folder. Now, let's go back out here. So we have I'm going to close this, and let's go back out here. And now let's just take another one, and let's do the sales price to original price ratio, which might be kind of neat. And let's generate that. So here we're getting some, there were, and by the way, we need to come here to the That's a sales price to original price ratio. So the secondary statistic would be let's do the average sales price and generate. Okay. Now, notice what this is telling us here is that, and we need to come over here to 2020. What's this telling us here? Houses are selling for 99.2% of the list price. Okay. Actually, that may be a better, and you could have this talking point here. This is the average sales price. So you could come back here and you could change this to the average list price. And now what we're saying here is the average list price is 236,000 and houses are selling for 99.2%. Sales price to original price ratio, list price average. Now that's the average list price. The average sales price, though, when we looked at that, we go to the average sales price, so the average sales price is really around 195. And there's probably reasons for that because there's been probably a few sales that were in the 200 range, upper 200 range, but the majority of the houses are probably selling. And again, you can even go and look at the median because that means half of the sales were over this price and half were under. See that? So there's been some properties that have been, it just depends on how you want to present the data and talk about it. I think in this example, because we're looking at list price to sales price ratio, I would rather use the sales price ratio. So now I'm going to click print. And I'm going to come down here and click print. And here, now there's one other thing. We could show the tabular data right here. So it's giving us all of this right here, which might be kind of interesting. And I'll click print. And again, we want to save to PDF. So I'm going to save this. And now I'm going to put list to sales ratio and save it. Okay, so we'll close that. And now let's take a look at one more thing that might be interesting for us to include. And I like to say months of inventory, I think is pretty good. And then we looked at the average sales price. Let's take a look at the list price median. We'll try that and generate this. And that gets us way all over the board. So we don't want that, do we? But let's see what that looks like for 2020. Get a little bit more meaningful there, doesn't it? So this is months of inventory. We only had a half a month inventory. We only had 2 months of inventory, which basically says if no other properties came on the market right now, if you were talking to a seller, no other properties came on the market right now, based on what's currently listed in your subdivision, in 2 months, everything would be gone. And then it drops down to 1 month. So what's this telling us here? See, there's a $330,000 list price. That's why there are some higher prices in there. But what's this tell us? I mean, it tells us you probably ought to price your property a little higher because the months of inventory is not that great. Actually, and so I'm going to print this because we want to print this. And I'm just going to show the tabular data here. I think that actually works pretty good. And now I'm going to print this. And again, we're just saving it as a PDF. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to put this as months of inventory. Okay, and now I'll save that in the same folder. So just to kind of recap, what I did was I basically went into the MLS and recreated the same search from RPR. Okay. So if we go over to RPR and we go to the home screen, I'm going to go back here to home. Under my saved searches, I have a Hunter's Ridge. And it is right there. And so now I'll run the Hunter's Ridge subdivision report. Here it is. See, I just drew a map in RPR, and I basically go into Maris and I draw the same map. And so you do that when you go into search, and I just did a search here on residential, and then I click the map search, and I basically zoomed in on the map. Here I am in Farmington. So I basically zoomed in on the map, and I went out here to Hunter's Ridge because I know where it's at. So that's 67 highway. We want to come back over this way. And so Hunter's Ridge is right here. See all of those. So this, and I actually need to so Hunter's Ridge, I just would do a polygon. This is Hunter's Ridge subdivision right here. And actually it goes like this is farmland, but I could basically, and then it's back up O Highway. So basically that's Hunter's Ridge, and houses sell very good there. It's a fairly new subdivision, and it's a good price range, and it's a great market to farm. So I've been able to now draw this and notice, and so what I did was I just saved this search. So you can save it right down here. And I just went into the stats once we save it, and we can start then looking at all of these various preferences. You know, this is a good thing for you to do right here as well. Notice on the number of sales per year. And again, once you generate this report like this is not really, I'm going to go up here to, gives me the data there, but I want to, I guess they're not actually allowing us to do some creative things, but this is not a bad report. I mean, this would be nice to show people. This, I think, personally, would be a great way for you to determine where I need to be working. I mean, you don't want to be spending a lot of time farming an area if there's not enough traffic in that area, not enough turnover. I'm kind of doing that now. I mentioned to you I have a license in Florida, and I'm trying to look at how I can virtually work some areas in the Florida area. I love Coral Gables. It's one of my favorite parts of Miami, Florida, because it's kind of it just has a neat vibe and feel to it. But I'm trying to figure out, well, which area in Coral Gables would be the best for me to, to set up the market report, just what we're talking about here. Well, here I can just go into Maris, draw some different subdivisions, look at those, draw the maps around, and then go right into statistics and generate the reports. And I can see right here if that would be a good area to work or not. If there's not that many transactions going on, maybe you don't want to mess with doing that. This also kind of gives you a unique, interesting look at when the majority of the homes are selling in those areas. And, you know, if you're seeing that, I'm just glancing at this, I can tell real quick, April, May, June, July, big months, even August, September, I need to be really working that area overtime in January and February, if that makes sense. So, you know, come out here, pull those reports, and then draw the same map in RPR. And so I'm just going to create a report because I've already drawn the map here. That's why there's some things that are off. There's a home listed for 430,000 in there. I'm going to go to market report, and now I want to manage custom pages. Remember that right there. So here I have my about page. Why work with an SRS? I'm going to delete this page, but I want to add from my desktop, probably down here at the bottom, these 3 reports here. So you have to add these one at a time. And I want those at the beginning. I'm going to add the second one. And I'm going to add the third one. All right. And really, I want those to come in. Actually, we could put it at the end, but I think it's better to maybe go in the beginning of the report, but totally up to you. We could put them at the end, but it's a pretty long report, but we'll just leave them at the end as something that you could talk about after you go through the report. So here, I'm now going to run the report. Now, while that's running, I want to show you something that I think is pretty cool. You know, one of the things we have to do is promote this report. We've got a free domain name, didn't we? But I started using, and again, I don't make any money off any of these. I paid for this just like you would have to pay for it. But I noticed they have a special pricing going on now, or they did, because of the it was $5.80 a month, which is what actually the other day when I got maybe that's if I want to upgrade. I went with just the basic program. And let me make this smaller because I made my screen bigger a minute ago. Okay. I went with the basic program. You get several signatures here, but I just want to show you if we wanted to create a new signature. So I'm going to go to Mayfield Real Estate, which is my Park Hills, and I'm going to edit this signature a little bit. So I have some add-ons over here, and I'm going to delete the YouTube video, and I'm going to delete the custom button there. Okay. And I am going to go, so you can pick out a design, you can pick out colors. So if I wanted to, you know, change my color a little bit, I could do that as well since my logo, or I could leave the darker blue, which I think I'll leave. Now I can make the photo and I can make that a little bigger if I want to. And I can make the, match the social icons with color if I want to do that, and if I want to make those larger, I can make those larger. I think I'll just make them match like that. Now, there are tons of templates that you can search from. And of course, add all of your social media websites. So here's where you would set up this information. So what I want to show you here, we're going to come back to add-ons. Our report should be done. And so here's our report we just did. Now remember, this is a market activity report for Hunter's Ridge. It's a specific area. And this is our report. And if I scrolled all the way to the very bottom of the market report, it's got some additional stuff here for them that they could look at. And some of those bled over to 2 pages, but that's okay. I could, in the future, I could make sure that that doesn't happen. I think that's because we did the tabular piece there. But that's okay. I just want you to kind of get the gist of what's going on. This is specific from RPR, which gives us some data, but we can move down through here, and the market report also provides people with the new listings that have gone for sale in their area. And it also provides information about sold properties. And if we want to put the expireds on there, we could do that as well. So now I'm just going to download this report, and I'm going to call this Hunter's Ridge, and I'm just going to put that in the same folder we're using for Hunter's Ridge. And here I'm going to take this report, and I'm going to go out. Well, first of all, I'm going to go to Flip Builder, and I'm going to click Create a new report. And now I'm going to browse, and I'm going to go down to Hunter's Ridge, and I want to get the Hunter's Ridge PDF, this right here. So I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to import. So that's going to take just a couple of seconds for that to happen. And once that is done, we will take this. Thought we brought that up. Let's see here. So I'm going to, I started to just exit out of Flip Builder. Every week we have one little mix up, but that's okay. You know what? It's just part of life, isn't it? So there's Hunter's Ridge. So we'll try importing this again. I have noticed the reason I changed the name, I have noticed that sometimes, so it's like it's there. And auto detect. It's like it's there, but it's not pulling that over. But I have noticed sometimes when I change the name, it will actually, if I leave the original name, and I don't know why that's not working here, there's always, there we go. So I'm pull the PDF up. So what I wanted to do, or what I wanted to show you, was how we could take that, and you know what, we'll just do a workaround. We'll go out to Flip Snack. So remember, Flip Snack's free. The one thing you're going to have to do with Flip Snack is that when I publish the Coral Gables, I'm going to have to really delete this. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to move to trash. And now I'm going to upload a PDF, and I'll find that Hunter's Ridge file. And so once this uploads, I'm going to get the code, the embed code. I just want to show you how this works. So we'll click next. Here's our magazine. I could change some colors if I want to. It's still processing it. Actually tells you up there if it looks weird, don't worry. So here's our magazine. Now, if I scroll down here, there is the ability for me to share this. And that is, I'm going to click next. And here's where I can add a description. So, add any title here. Let's see, I'll just put thinking about buying or selling in Hunter's Ridge. Call me, John Mayfield, at 573-756-0077. Now, I'm going to put the category as business, and we'll just leave it public. That's fine. And here I'm going to publish this. So now here's my file. And what I want to do though is I really want to put this on my website. So we have a link to this site here, but I can also get what is called the embed code. And that's right here. So I'm going to select embed, and here I'll just leave all of this alone. I guess you can make that bigger if you want to, but we'll leave that alone. And here's the embed code. That's just a bunch of gobbledygook, okay? I'm going to copy that. All right, so now I have that copied. And here's where I would just go over to my website, because you want to push everything back to your website. So again, I use Playster. I've been using it for a while. I like it. I started using it after I went to Inman Connect, and I heard all these people talking about Playster, and I thought, well, that sounds interesting. So I'm going to write a blog post, and here we're going to just click the plus button and put market activity for Hunter's Ridge. Now, if I'm farming this area and I'm just doing a post here, the one thing I would probably do is set up a separate page for this. So I'm going to click the HTML button. Now again, remember, I can't just come here and paste that gobbledygook, because that's what will happen. This is called HTML. It's just, I guess, something computer nerds felt a need to create. But if you notice right next to this, there's a couple of buttons that say View HTML. And so now I can paste the gobbledygook here, update, and it actually puts the magazine in. See how I did that? Now I want to be sure and put an excerpt here. So we want to just put latest statistics for Hunter's Ridge. Now what I would encourage you to do, and I'm going to put May 1, 2020. And actually you want keywords, real estate statistics for Hunter's Ridge, May 121, provided by John D. Mayfield of Mayfield Real Estate, Farmington, Missouri. See how I've got all those keywords in there now? Now I'm going to Command C to copy that. I'm going to Command V to paste, and Command V to paste right there. So actually, the rest of this I'd probably take out. Farmington, Missouri. Okay. Now I do need to get a featured image. Well, here's what I do. Remember, I've told you this or showed you this before. It's called TechSmith. So Command P, I'm just going to grab this, And I'm going to save this image. So and Snagit should have grabbed a picture of that. My Snagit might be behind there. Oh, there it is. It's on my second monitor. Let me bring it down here. So here it is. Now remember, with Snagit, I have to click File, Save As, because I want to save it as a JPEG. And I just want to save it, since I'm already working on this desktop, I'm going to just save it in that Hunter's Ridge. Save. Now I can come back to Playster, choose a file, and here's my file. And now I'll publish. Now I have one quick thing to do here. Actually, we pasted that right in there, so there's really nothing else to do, is there? So let's view the live site, and let's go to our blog, which is going to be right here. And here's the market activity report. And this is where I want to send them. So I'm going to copy this link. This is where that's located. And I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go back over here to YStamp. Remember this? And now I'm on add-ons. I'm just going to add a custom button right here. And I'm going to put Hunter's Ridge Market Activity Report. And I can make this light. I can make it a simple link like that. I can make it smaller if I want, larger if I want. I can, change the color of it. And you can make it however you want. So I'm going to leave that like that. I think that looks pretty good. And to draw some attention. And now remember here it is. Now we have to give it a URL. So I'm going to go back here. This is where it's at. Highlight this, right click my mouse and copy. Go over to YStamp, and I'm going to paste that right there. Now I'm going to add this. And look what happens when I send my emails out. Someone clicks on this, it takes them right to the marketing report. Now, don't forget, we can also go to Linktree. We've been talking about this, and I can log into my Linktree, and I can add a new link, and I can put Hunter's Ridge Market Report. I paste that link there. It's going to go live. I'm going to take the CE off for a second. Actually, I'll leave the CE off, and I'll take the Coral Gables off for just a second, just so we have a little more room there. Okay. Now, here's my link tree, right? There's Hunter's Ridge. Takes you right to my website. So now I'm going to go to Instagram, LinkedIn, and start publishing those links. So, I mean, when you think about this, and again, I want us to build the foundation, but when you think about this, first of all, we're taking that free RPR report that I think looks amazing, the market activity report, but we're drawing a map around this subdivision we want to farm. And I'm telling you what, real estate farming works. I've done it. This is my 42nd year in the business. It works. You have to plant seeds. You have to get out and work. So, and you want to find the right market area to do that in. So once we are able to generate that drawing around the market report, around the area in RPR, we can get some really cool data from RPR. But I wanted to show you how you could go into your MLS, use a map search, draw the same map around the same area, and then take a look at some of those statistics your MLS has, because that stuff RPR is not putting into the mix, and you can put those at the front or the back. And I'm telling you what, now you have a really cool market report that's on steroids. Now, next week, we're going to do this same market report, but we're going to add video to it. And so what I want you to get, I want you to figure out a way to really create a market report that will just blow the minds of people in that area. I want you to wow them, okay? I mean, we really want to get noticed. I talk about that on all of my webinars. You want to be that red leather chair. So next week we're going to add video to it. But what else did we do? We embedded this on our website, so we're sending everybody back to the website through social media. We added it to a really cool email signature with a link, so that now when all our emails are going out through on a daily basis, we're telling people about that specific market report we have, and we're going to take it a notch further next week with doing some video with it. And then what I plan to do, and I know next week was, I was supposed to schedule ending these, but next week what I plan to do, or the week after that, is I'd like for us to really then explore Instagram advertising, Facebook advertising, maybe creating another piece for those people that are coming to look at the market report. How can we create a landing page or a piece that maybe will ask them, do you want to know what your house is worth? How about a free price evaluation? Click here. And so what we're doing is we're trying to put some free stuff out there that's interesting for people in a specific neighborhood. And then when we get them to come to our landing page, have some other triggers or opt-in features so that we can try to capture leads from that address. And then throughout all of this, we registered an $11 GoDaddy name, and we can put that on any postcards if we want to do direct mailing, or if we want to get door knockers and we want to go out and meet people or have people hang those. I'm telling you what, door knockers, I was thinking when I was talking about Elm Street and Locust Street, I remember a little lady, it was probably 6 months after, well, she wasn't a lady, she was actually a little bit older than me, but 6 months after I dropped off the door knocker, she called me. She had this weather-beaten wrinkled up free price evaluation I'd left at her door. She wanted to know the value of her house, and I gave it to her. She listed her home with me. I sold it. She bought another home, and I mean to tell you, her mom sold her home through me. She sent brothers and sisters. She bought several houses from me. It never would have happened if I hadn't farmed that area to market. So I hope this has been helpful. I'm really sorry we lost our connection in the first part of the other stream. I'm probably going to start streaming just through Zoom, because I hate that when things are not working the way they should, but I'll get all of that worked out. Thanks for watching. You can always subscribe to the channel, and remember that if you subscribe to the channel, anytime I post videos, you'll have access to those. So thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great day. I'm on my way out to cut grass, so I will talk to you all soon. So thanks again.